Hi, welcome to another edition of What the Fuck, or Google is Evil. Round number. Anyway, yes. One of many editions of me attempting to argue against the fanatic optimism that propagandizes, through just about all of human culture and infrastructure. Some desperate hope, that they're sailing in a boat that isn't doomed to sink. But anyway, blah 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 blah, and yeah. So I made another one video this week, shortly ago. So that's all. Yes, I have to say more, but I really have to say better, and that's the truth. So until I start saying something better, some of this is kind of futile and pointless. But so far, this is the best I can do, apparently. It's just the truth. So you're stuck with what it is, and yes, I'm likewise disappointed. I wish I did better. So what? Yeah, wishing doesn't make it so. I don't exactly know how to, whatever the weight, the fog, the thickness I'm swimming through, that I'm not able to make any traction through it. Whatever I have to do to my boots, I haven't figured it out yet. How to make a better tread. And so anyway, we're just waiting for that, I guess. We'll see. So anyway, we'll play some of this slop and such. So it's titled Hurting Retards, which I thought was funny at the time. And, I might just, could be fucked hard, just to take the edge off. But frankly, people should be just called what they are. People are retarded. They are of diminished capacity. They don't function logically. They don't make any sense. They talk absolute shit. They're idiots. They don't really have a clue what planet they're on, frankly, in any kind of real context. They don't even understand how it works at all. Blah, 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 blah. And even the smartest of them, the Einsteins, full of shit, really, frankly. Just, relativity. Fucking idiotic. Anyway. Let alone anybody else's stupid life. I mean, their life isn't even... Okay, so, yeah, so, these little thought experiments you can play. Would you really, if the planet Earth was just a bunch of tickets, of living some average retard's life. You were going to just pick a random ticket, and you get to live the life of the random idiot. Would you really say yes? I mean, would you put a nickel in that machine, to play, be a human? I mean, I can put a whole bunch of other machines competing with it, be a tree. Yeah, although, okay, I'll put a nickel in that just for the fun of just being asleep for 100 years. But yeah, I mean, what would you really want to live the average dope's life on this planet? I mean, come on. Who's kidding who? I mean, if you're watching this video, I think there's a pretty low likelihood, frankly, that you have much liking of what you're seeing in the human race. So yeah, I don't think there's much chance. But anyway, I mean, it'd be interesting just to see people do it. That if I could, modify the matrix, modify the program, so when you die, you're given this option of, yes, let's do it again as some other idiot. How many people would choose? Would say, yeah, they're impressed. Oh yeah, humans are so cool. I don't think so. I'd love to just see the results. I'd love to see, the people who have lived a charmed life actually say, yes, I'm going to pull fat and stupid. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. I don't think so. I really don't think so. So, I mean, anyway, so I was contemplating that and just saying, you know, it'd be nice if we could just do this, you know, like just survey the people of Earth, you know, in some kind of rational way and have them answer these simple yeah, so I'm basically talking about the idea of the, you know, there's just these basic questions, I mean, about our functionality. It'd be really nice to be able to get a survey that actually asks these kind of, you know, the important questions. You know, what do you really think? What do you think a free is? You know, let alone a free will. You know, do you think people really are free to be a, you know, concert pianist without practicing? You know, what do you really think you're free to be? Your cruise, pretty much. Like you can't even be offended in jail. Somebody can't even call you a faggot or something. Yeah, so I was just talking about how, you know, the whole reward and punishment thing is really breaking down in so many ways, and you know, so yeah, I'm pretty hard on the whole liberal cause of defend the criminal. Is just so ugly and stupid. I mean, they're just basically saying to anybody rational, you can't really vote for us because we're crazy. Their bills, and they did, and so they were just such fucking suckers. I mean, what losers. So yeah, I got on the subject of a political subject, the recent Biden political horseshit of, you know, debt forgiveness for the student loaners. You know, who mostly spent the money on drugs and parties, you know that, and pizza and conveniences, you know, and it's just such an insult to the people, again, I mean, I hate to use the rhetoric, but the people who played by the rules, you're just making huge suckers out of them. You're just saying you were such a sucker to feel any responsibility to pay your bills. You know, to moderate your consumption, to be responsible. You're just, you know, mocking the responsible people who paid a high price to be a responsible person. You know, going to work while you're going to school is really difficult. I mean, it really gives you a huge disadvantage. It's like, you know, it's like hitting your foot with a sledgehammer, you know, before the big race. You know, and you're just mocking those people. That's all you're doing. It's disgusting. If you're going to give the people who aren't going to pay their loans a free ride, then you should give the money also to the people who did play by the rules. You know, you should figure out some way to be fair, because this isn't fair, frankly. It's horseshit. Saying, let's not take advantage of that at all. Alright, so I'm just pointing out how the left has just ruined it. They have this perfect opportunity to become a huge majority party, and they're throwing it all away by doing this crap. This to just be as imbecilic and stupid as possible. You know, make criminals into gods, you know. Just totally exaggerate. You know, there's real problems, you know, police brutality, all this stuff, but they're turning it into some, you know, they're perverting it into a conflict that shouldn't exist. You know, fix the problem, don't make a new problem, and that's all they're doing. It's just making excuses to go way too far, because the right looks so silly right now, and the left is just saying, let's see if we can look even sillier. And it's just so stupid. It's such a stupid political move. They're not going to win. It's not going to work. And like I said, this is the perfect opportunity for one of these two political parties to be rational. The right has the opportunity to segregate, you know, to cut itself off from the stupid religious kooks with abortion. And what do? They just double down on stupid kookery. You know, so anybody who's just a responsible capitalist has to look at it and say, what the fuck is that shit about? And the left is just doubling down on it. Okay, any responsible citizen who thinks that, yes, criminal is, you shouldn't club people with bricks, and you shouldn't do this, and you shouldn't rape, and you shouldn't pillage, you know, and they're sending this message as, no, we're the party that defends all of that shit. Break all the rules you want. We don't care. Overtly thumb your nose as you shoplift coming out of the store, as you make everybody else pay more money for everything, because somehow the corporations will pay. No, the corporations aren't going to pay for the shoplifting. The customers are going to pay for the shoplifting. I mean, the left is just too stupid. They're not fighting the rich. You know, they're helping them. Yeah, I don't think I do. But whatever. I have no choice, right? It's the only agenda there is fixing the broken. So yeah, so it always comes back to that it's just all about a simple thing. We're just stuck here being sensitive organisms. We have to come up with plans and systems that you know, are economical and that don't cost more than they're worth and all of that shit. And you know, that's the only agenda there is, so that's what I'll talk about. But there's, you know, in this atmosphere, what's the point? You know, because yeah, logic, nobody has any. Nobody has any rudimentary. They don't have enough. That, you know, you only need like 10 facts, and they can't manage those 10 facts. They can't manage understanding that yes, it's evolution. We have, you know, kind of crass impulses. We have a much better capacity to understand. We have a much more eloquent, you know, and sophisticated and cultured and sophisticated intelligence that can keep us from being assholes. And we should do everything we can to, you know, support the intelligence and fight against the crappy nature. It's all just bank numbers, bank digits. Alright, a little bit on economics and just the game they're playing and how they've gone right back to the plans that don't work, proven not to work, disastrous consequences, it ain't gonna work, blah blah blah. And yeah, it's just too stupid. I don't know who voted for that. You're saying the rest of my neighbors, I really don't think they voted for that. Alright, so a little more still on the politics of all these, you know, they've turned all these petty crimes into non-existent crimes, but they're really not petty crimes, because if enough people start doing it, it really does destroy your life. I mean, if enough people barbecue every Saturday, you can't sit outside anymore. You know, enough people playing music and having parties and doing all this shit. There's a point where, yeah, there's no point, because every weekend's ruined. You know, so your yard is not your yard anymore. It's for somebody else to spill their shit into. You know, their noise pollution. The stupidity of... I mean, they'll sit right in front of their house with their cars running for a half an hour, charging their phones, who the hell knows what. You know, paying whatever, $5 a gallon for gas. And you're just saying, what the fuck? With the music blaring, you know. What the fuck? Who the fuck is stupid enough to think that's... Oh yeah, the guy next door will love this. They're that fucking stupid, and they got a $350,000 loan, and they're that fucking stupid? Shit. Come on. Creating. But, you know, again, most people are sort of figuring it out. Most people sort of figure out that... Yeah, anyway. I shouldn't say anything about most people figuring anything out, because the video really isn't about most people figuring anything out. Messages in it, all the right points, and so it can all get into people's heads and they can grok the so I don't know what I was saying there. Something about how to you know, how you do this conversation that matters thing, and obviously I'm not doing that. So there's a secret to it. I'm failing to have found the secret. Stupidly, or you know, fat, stupid, and with children. Yeah, so just predicting the future, you know, because the future, you know, the fact is antinatalism is winning in the sense that people recognize in their real life it doesn't work. It's not practical. They understand, I think a lot of them actually do understand just how big a burden it is to have children and try to protect them and do all this shit and have it all work out just fine. Not easy to do. Not an easy game to play. And they choose not to pull it off the shelf. You know, they pull off something else off the shelf, like I'll have a good career, I'll have a nice romantic relationship with my wife, and we'll have a cat. You know, we'll have some goldfish or something. We'll find something else to invest our time in. And so the only ones going to be left having kids are going to be mockably stupid. You know, they can see the difference between food and sharks. So just pointing out how we're still playing the fish game, and it's just we're doing our minor amount of calculating that a fish does. A fish does some recognizing. It puts things in categories. Can I eat it? Can I fuck it? Do I have to run away from it? And human beings are still doing the same thing, but they're doing it in the context of a bunch of memes and ideas and political parties and blah blah blah. But it's the same bullshit, and they're just doing it badly. They haven't upped the calculating game because they haven't fixed their 2 + 2 math. They haven't fixed the part where they have the wrong idea about what we're doing here. We're fulfilling a DNA molecules construction. Okay, we're not doing something better yet. If you can get rid of the negatives, you automatically have the positive. Right, so just the game is that simple, that just keep the thing from breaking and you win. And that's it. And you don't have to do any more than stop it from getting broken. And prevention, that's all you need to do. And everything's just fine. Prevent the torture and you win. And the easiest way to prevent it is not make a harmful, not make something that can be tortured. You win. They end up just being fodder. Okay, they just end up being the blood footprint of a DNA molecule. Right, of people who are on the side of. Okay, some notion that we're heading somewhere or going somewhere. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do here. Except clean up our own blood footprint. Our own footprints are the criminal. We're walking through the crime with our magnifying glass, and the fact is we're the murderer. It's kind of funny it turns out that way. Alright, well, we'll go a little less than that far. Play, with other people in terms of, I think I'm saying something like I just can't stand people anymore. It's really hard to make videos, just hard to, yuck. You're just saying, yes, I just want to bail. And watch bad movies, because everything else sucks. Anyway, there's nothing, whatever. But I shall endeavor to persevere and keep plugging away and such. So that's what I'll do. So I'll probably be here next week until something happens that, till one of the swords fucks me over. I'll attempt to defend just a minor amount of reasonable calculating. Anyway, till the next time, such and so forth, and whatnot. This has been a GoogleIsEvil, donotgod.com video presentation, and such. Yeah. Until the next time, blah, 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 blah.